Today I'm sharing a recipe for my heart and heart, or shape and shape, rainbow sugar cookies. This recipe is not only cute and colorful, it's tasty. If you're new here, my passion is helping you make sweet treats. Hello you, it's me, RoxStarBakes. I finally got around to making this video, so you can eat the rainbow. To make the sugar cookie, cream the butter and sugar with a paddle attachment until fluffy and white. This takes about 5 minutes on medium-high. During this process, occasionally scrape down the sides of the mixing bowl. Add the egg at a low mixing speed. Add the extract. I use almond for the first batch and clear vanilla extract for the star and bear cookie batches because I wanted that nostalgic scent and taste. Add these sifted dry ingredients into halves, scraping in between. And the dough comes together. I know it's ready when it comes together like this. It becomes a ball on the paddle attachment. You'll see resistance and struggle with your mixer. That's okay. Now remove the raw dough from the mixer. Split the dough in half. The larger piece of dough comes to about 385 grams. Then split 1/2 of the dough into 7 portions and color with gel food paste. For these, I use pink, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. Rainbow-like colors. Each color comes to about 60 grams. It's easier to add than remove colors, so be conservative as you're deciding on the colors you prefer. I like gel food paste because it's more concentrated and doesn't change the consistency of the dough. Rainbow. Before I put these in the fridge to rest, I roll them out into flat discs that are about 1/4 of an inch tall. This makes it easier to work with. You will see why in a bit. When they're in a tray, I can see that they're pretty even in height. Cover the pieces in plastic wrap before placing them in the fridge for about 1/2 an hour. This is important because I found that cookies will dry out quickly. When I take it out, I use a cutting board to help flatten each batter plate further. Flatter and as even in height as possible to all the dough plates. So here's the chilled, uncolored dough that I've set on parchment paper so that I can cut out the pieces. Now take a tiny heart cookie cutter or your favorite shape and cut out the hearts from the larger piece of cookie batter to make negative space. If you find popping out the cookie pieces challenging, you can dust the miniature cookie cutter with flour. This will help with the release. I think kneading the flour depends on the cookie cutter and shape. I do my best to cut out even lines. Save the little hearts and set aside. Place the chilled rainbow pieces onto a parchment paper. Now cut out the miniature shapes and set them aside. Cut. 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 Save the outer pieces too. I'll show you what I do with those. It's tempting to wash in between each color cutting, but I recommend holding off until you complete the project as it creates a goop in the cutter. Also, I wish that all cookie or fondant cutters were awesome, but the mini heart kept breaking on me. Sadness. Then I start to assemble. So here's the white dough that I made negative spaces in. Place the colorful dough however you like. I really like placing rows to make a rainbow pattern. If you feel like they're not sticking because they dry quickly, paint some egg white on the inside of the empty space. Here's a star cookie that I made. The only difference is that I colored the uncolored dough white. Once everything is in place, roll out with a rolling pin or press firmly together with a baking sheet. What I'm doing is attempting to make these pieces flush.
Do this as evenly as possible so the cookies can bake for the same amount of time without burning or being undercooked. Now it's time to form the cookies.
Now use a large cookie cutter, in this case, a heart cutter, to cut out your cookies. If there are other nooks, you can cut cookies there too. I make some tiny ones. No dough is spared in the making of these cookies. I tried to get every piece possible, and I think they look really cute still. For those leftover cutout pieces I mentioned earlier, I still make more cookies. I place those mini white shapes into the solid pieces so as much of the dough is used. I learned along the way that in case there are a limited number of tiny pieces, it helps to press the cookie lightly with the cookie cutter to get a guideline. They mostly disappear when pressing the shapes and larger dough together. The purple cookie is a little bit of a mess. That's okay. Now cut them. Look how cute this is with Rilakkuma Bear cookie cutters.
Then place each cookie on a line tray an inch apart.
This recipe makes about 11 large heart cookies plus some small ones. As you can see from this project, I made many batches of cookie dough. Before I place these in the oven, I cover them and refrigerate for half an hour.
Tip: my cookie recipe won't expand if they're cold.
And then I bake for 7 to 10 minutes in a preheated 350 degrees Fahrenheit oven. These ones are just out of the oven. Ouch! These cookies cool faster than the tray cools, so don't burn yourself if you're grabbing some.
Well, OMG.
Ta-da! It's tempting not to eat them before they cool because they smell so scrumptious.
Voila! Rainbow sugar cookie success.
So happy I was finally able to share these. This was actually the second project I recorded, but since I wanted to do it right, I held on to it. I absolutely love the bright colors. Here are the Star and Rilakkuma Bear cookies too. Om nom nom. Yeah. For those of you wondering if coloring the non-colored dough with a bright white gel paste is the way to go, I didn't love the texture and think the uncolored dough looks so pretty on this cookie. want to show you what completely cooked cookies look like. I baked these 2 cookie rows for 7 minutes. This row, I cooked it at 8 minutes. You can see that it's lightly golden brown on the edges. But these ones that are lighter and brighter are still cooked. You can see that there's no wet spot in the center of the cookie. It's nice and cooked, but nice and white as well. It's all personal preference. Just because they're a light cookie doesn't mean they're not cooked. It took me a while to learn that nugget of info. Here's the back of a green cookie. It's definitely cooked and lightly browned. Here's a cookie from the solid color with white heart rainbow set. At the end of the day, it's about taste and flavor, and these are delicious.
Hit that bell notification to get the latest videos. Coming up is a cookie playlist with more tasty videos.
Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.